When Ohr Naava began, there was a few meetings, and we talked about who is Ohr Naava for. And what we discovered is that it doesn't make a difference if a girl comes from Williamsburg, if a lady is a grandmother, if a girl is still in high school, if she is struggling with simple hashkafic values, if she's into advanced textual navi. It really doesn't make a difference. They coexist in a way that's extremely dynamic and very growth-oriented. And ultimately, the reality is that Ohr Naava is open to any Jewish woman.
I think the proof is in the pudding. You know, when Ohr Naava started, it was just a handful of girls, and today I believe there's a good couple of thousand who are involved in some manner, shape, or form in Ohr Naava, and it ranges from age, it ranges from there's a tremendous diversity in the type of girls and the type of women that come to Ohr Naava, come to Shirim, and I think that's one of the beauties of Ohr Naava, that it's all inclusive.
Ohr Naava is a wonderful collection of people who want to learn. It's a salad of different types of people, and I think that's what makes it very fun and a rich experience.
I think there are a lot of opportunities that exist for people who are growth-oriented, who are positioned within a certain segment of society. But for some of us, we get caught up in the workaday world, or we get caught up building families. Our spiritual growth really just takes a backseat for a very long time. And then when we'd like to, once again, start on a spiritual journey, we've got no place to go. I think Ohr Naava is the first place that I know of in my lifetime where anybody could come, wherever they are in life, and it works, it fits, it's a good fit. Ohr Naava is truly a one-size-fits-all type of organization for anyone who's into spiritual growth at any point in their lives.
We're called the Women's Torah Center. What does that mean exactly? Torah, in the Jewish nation, Torah is everything. Torah is life. So we call it a Torah Center because it's a women's life center. Therefore, we deal with all women's issues. I would take you into, instead of me telling you about this, I would like you maybe to come with me and just to listen, instead of me telling you what's going on, to listen to some of the messages that I receive and to understand what it means to be a Torah Center.
Your call has been forwarded. First voice message. And I just wanted to. Next message.
I never gave up on Hashem. I never did it and never will. I always know He's there for me. But I don't understand. I daven every day. I don't daven from a book. I don't daven from a dinner, but I talk to Him.
And you want to know what would be if we weren't around.
Next message.
You can't imagine where your shiurim, how far it goes. You should know that there are so many people that listen to your shiur that you give by Ohr Naava. And it's not that you're teaching about Chivas. If you think so, you're really mistaken. You should know the most religious, Husheva, Hasidic crowd is listening to your shiur, and we happen to have someone.
Every person is asked 3 questions or 6 questions when they come to the next world. He says a Rebbe, or anyone in Chinuch, has one question that no one else has. Did you treat my children like they were yours? I am asked every question that you can imagine, whether it's having children or shalom bayis or whatever it is. How can I make such a decision for somebody? It's a life decision. And I look at that girl that asked me that question, who's crying, who's depressed, or whatever she's going through, and I say, that's my daughter Malki. What would I answer my daughter Malki? And I know what I would answer my daughter Malki in any question that she would ask me. And therefore, that is the answer I give that girl. And if that girl is in pain, then it's my daughter Malki that's in pain. And that's all Hashem wants from the people in Chinuch. Treat my children like your own. In order to grow, for instance, some girls said they would like to have a basketball league on a Motzei Shabbos. I don't have a gym, Some girls said they would love to go swimming. A library. We come from college. If we could do our homework in Ohr Naava, then we could come earlier, we could be there longer. The main thing really is that there are many girls that Baruch Hashem in the last couple of years were not religious and through Ohr Naava became religious. And they cannot go home to a home that there's no kosher food and they don't have a Shabbos. So they said if you could give us a dorm and build dorms, we would stay in these dorms and then we could have Shabbos. It's part of the shul. There's a shul right, part of the building. And we could belong to a shul, a community, and the only way I could do that is to have housing for them. So all of a sudden this little idea of 18 girls and a budget of $20,000 is now at 2,500 girls with a budget of $700,000 and a building which I just got the plans this week, the library and the pool and the gym and all the rooms, $5 to $7 million. So people are saying to me, like, you're a dreamer, like you can't do this. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. Hashem's doing this. It's his daughters. I'm sure he wants them to have a gym. And I'm sure he wants them to have a pool. And I'm sure he wants them to have a library. So I'm sure that when I go to people, Hashem will give them the siyata d'shmaya to understand the need and to open up their hearts. I was thinking that my dream here is sort of like Sarah Schneer's dream. Her dream was that every city that Jews live in should have a Beis Yaakov. My dream is that every city that Jews live in should have a night program for girls. I just can't imagine many years ago if Sarah Schneer would have knocked on someone's door and asked for financial help and they would know what happened from her dream, everybody would be running after her to support her. Or the Daf Yomi. Rabbi Shapiro, if we would have known what would happen to Daf Yomi, Rabbi Shapiro would say, to get this thing going, I need a couple of bucks, the whole world would have jumped. But no one dreamed his dream. So I really need people that have the same outlook as me and understand that in 20 years from now, every city that has Jewish girls in it across the world is going to have a night program. And everyone that helps Ohr Naava is helping Hashem's children. There's nothing bigger than helping Hashem's children. It's the greatest feeling.